Hello and welcome, dear listeners, to Sleepy Science. Tonight, we begin a quiet journey through one of the most beautiful secrets of the cosmos. Everywhere we look, everything that exists is spinning. The planets turn around their stars, the stars rotate around the centers of galaxies, and even the galaxies themselves swirl through the fabric of space like glowing spirals. From the smallest particles to the largest cosmic structures, the universe is always in motion, always dancing to an invisible rhythm that never stops. If you look up at the night sky, every point of light you see is turning, though so slowly that the motion cannot be seen by the eye. The earth beneath you spins once every day, carrying oceans, mountains, and life itself in a steady rhythm that has continued since the dawn of time. The sun spins too, slowly pulling its light and warmth through the solar system. The Milky Way turns like a vast wheel, each star tracing a delicate path through the dark. This endless motion is not chaos. It is order. It is the natural result of how the universe began and how it continues to evolve. When the universe was young, it was not still. It was filled with clouds of gas and dust, drifting through gravity's quiet embrace. These clouds slowly began to collapse under their own weight, pulled toward their centers. And as they fell inward, something simple and beautiful happened. They began to spin. This is because of a law of nature called the conservation of angular momentum, though we can think of it more simply as the universe's rule of balance. When something moves in one way, its motion cannot disappear. It only changes form. Imagine an ice skater on a frozen lake. When she pulls her arms close, she spins faster. The same happens in space. As gas clouds collapse to form stars, they pull tighter, spinning faster and faster. This motion never stops. It becomes part of the star itself, a permanent signature of its birth. Every planet, every moon, every atom carries this inheritance of motion. When the solar system was born, the spinning disk of gas that surrounded the young sun slowly formed clumps. Those clumps became planets, each one keeping a part of the rotation of that ancient cloud. The reason Earth spins is because the cloud that formed it was spinning first. The reason the moon turns is because the same process repeated in miniature. Motion is passed down like a memory through time. Even the stars that no longer shine still carry rotation in their cores. When a star dies and collapses into a neutron star or black hole, its rotation increases to unimaginable speeds, spinning hundreds of times each second. It is the same rule, the same conservation of motion, still working in silence. The universe does not forget its first movements. Spin is not only a property of matter, it is the very heartbeat of existence. The galaxies that spiral through space are shaped by their rotation, their graceful arms extending outward as stars orbit their centers. Without spin, galaxies would not form at all. Without it, the universe would be shapeless, without rhythm, without balance. The same motion that created the stars also holds them in place. Even the smallest things, invisible to the eye, share this cosmic motion. The particles that make up atoms, electrons, protons, and neutrons all have spin of their own. It is a quantum version of rotation, a fundamental characteristic that defines how matter interacts with light and energy. The universe spins not just in the vastness of galaxies, but in the smallest depths of its own structure. This constant motion brings harmony to everything. Rotation stabilizes planets, keeps stars burning evenly, shapes the paths of moons, and sets the rhythm of time itself. Every sunrise, every tide, every season is part of this dance. The same pattern that moves galaxies also turns the oceans on Earth. From the quiet rotation of atoms to the swirling arms of the Milky Way, all of it follows one universal rhythm. As you imagine this, let your thoughts drift with the motion. Picture yourself floating in space, surrounded by stars all slowly turning in silence. Feel the earth beneath you rotating gently, carrying you through the night. The universe does not rush, it moves with grace. Everything spins because motion is the language of existence, the way creation expresses balance. The great cosmic dance has no beginning and no end. It flows in circles, in orbits, in cycles that repeat forever. Every planet, every atom, every beam of light is part of it, and so are you. The rhythm that moves the stars is the same rhythm that beats in your heart. Long before the first stars formed, before galaxies had shape or name, the universe was a soft sea of light and silence. Everything was even and smooth, a calm expanse of energy drifting without direction. But calm cannot last forever, because balance itself creates motion. Small differences began to appear. Tiny ripples, small variations in density, soft waves that moved through the early universe like the first breath of wind. Those ripples grew with time, drawn together by gravity, the quiet sculptor of all structure. Clouds of matter began to gather, and as they did, they started to twist. This was not random. It was a result of nature's simplest rule. That motion, once begun, cannot vanish. When parts of a cloud move inward from opposite directions, they do not meet in perfect stillness. They slide past one another, and in doing so, the whole cloud begins to spin. From these first turning motions came everything that now exists. Each star, each planet, each cluster of galaxies inherited its spin from those ancient movements, carried forward through time like a cosmic memory. Even now, billions of years later, that original rotation continues, echoed in the turning of worlds, the orbits of moons, and the spinning of galaxies that still follow the same quiet pattern. Spin brings structure. Without it, the universe would be a field of scattered matter, collapsing inward into shapelessness. But rotation gives stability. It spreads matter outward, creating disks, orbits, and balance. A spinning cloud does not fall straight into its center. Instead, it flattens, forming a circle. That is why galaxies are shaped like spirals, why planets form from disks of dust, and why even the rings of Saturn trace perfect curves in space. Every motion we see, the turn of the Earth, the orbit of the Moon, the spinning of the Sun, is a continuation of that first ancient dance. The energy that began in those early ripples now moves through everything, unchanged in essence, though transformed in form. The same principle that turned those first clouds also turns the air around you, the blood within you, and the planet beneath your feet. Spin is the universe's way of keeping balance while moving forward. When something collapses inward, its rotation speeds up to conserve momentum. When it expands, the spin slows, like a breath drawn in and released. This is the pulse of the cosmos, the steady rhythm that ties everything together. From galaxies to atoms, the rule never breaks, because it is written into the very fabric of existence. The beauty of this motion lies in its symmetry. Every rotation is both a circle and a cycle. The planets orbit their stars in perfect loops, while the stars themselves move around galactic centers, which in turn move within larger cosmic structures. Even the smallest particles turn endlessly, guided by invisible fields. The result is a universe that is never still but never lost. A harmony of motion that holds eternity in balance. If we could watch the early universe from outside time, we would see it spinning itself into being. The soft clouds of gas would twist into filaments. Those filaments would spin into galaxies, and from those galaxies, stars would rise like sparks. Every motion would feed another. Every rotation would create a new form. It would look like a vast spiral unfolding through infinity, the first dance of creation. And though that dance began long ago, it continues even now. The stars we see are still moving. The galaxies are still turning. The same energy still flows. The universe does not grow tired. It moves with patient grace. Each rotation, from the smallest atom to the largest galaxy, is part of one single motion. the universe remembering how it began. As you rest, imagine this eternal movement. Feel the quiet rotation of the planet beneath you, the slow drift of the stars above, the infinite spiral that connects all things. There is no noise in this motion, only calm. The universe spins not because it must, but because motion is its nature, its balance, its peace. In the great stillness of space, there is one force that guides all movement. One quiet hand that shapes every turning world. That force is gravity. It does not push or shout. It pulls with endless patience, always gentle, always certain. Gravity is the artist behind the spinning of the universe. The reason that everything, from the smallest dust grain to the grandest galaxy, moves in endless circles of balance. Imagine a vast cloud of gas and dust drifting in the dark. It has no direction, no form, just a quiet spread of particles suspended in emptiness. Then gravity begins its work, pulling the matter inward, gathering it toward a center. The particles fall not in straight lines, but slightly curved, each one tugging on the others as they move. The cloud begins to rotate, slowly at first, then faster as it collapses further. This motion is simple and eternal. When matter falls inward, the spin increases, just as a dancer turns faster when she draws her arms close. It is a law of balance, a quiet rule that the universe never breaks. The faster the spin, the more stable the structure becomes, because the outward pull of rotation balances the inward pull of gravity. The universe builds its shapes through this balance: circles, spirals, spheres, each one formed by the meeting of motion and stillness. Planets are born in these spinning clouds. Dust gathers into pebbles, pebbles into rocks, rocks into worlds. Each keeps the spin of the cloud from which it came, carrying it through time. Some spin quickly, others slowly, but none are ever still. The Earth's rotation gives us day and night, the calm rhythm of light and darkness that measures our lives. The same gravity that formed our world also set it turning, giving time its steady heartbeat. Even stars, enormous and bright, owe their rotation to gravity's shaping hand. As they form from collapsing gas, they spin faster and faster until fusion ignites in their cores. Their light is born from the same motion that turned the clouds around them. And when those stars die, collapsing into dense remnants like neutron stars or black holes, they spin faster still, conserving every trace of motion they once held. Galaxies, too, follow this quiet rule. The Milky Way turns like a great wheel, its stars moving in gentle orbits around a dark center. The spiral arms stretch outward like ribbons of light, their shape maintained by the constant balance between gravity pulling inward and rotation pushing outward. It is this balance that allows galaxies to exist for billions of years without falling apart. Even the galaxies themselves move through larger structures, circling within clusters, following invisible paths carved by gravity through the universe. Everything moves around something else. Everything is held in place by everything else. The same hand that spins the planets also guides the galaxies, shaping the smallest and the greatest with equal care. This motion is not chaos, it is harmony. Gravity does not control by force, it guides by rhythm. It allows motion, yet keeps motion bound. The result is a universe that is both dynamic and peaceful, both changing and eternal. The quiet pull of gravity ensures that everything moves in patterns, that no energy is wasted, that every rotation serves a purpose. If we could listen to the universe, truly listen, we would hear this balance as a soft, endless hum, the sound of motion held in perfect order. Every orbit, every turn, every spin adds its note to this cosmic melody. The galaxies sing in light, the planets in movement, the atoms in vibration. And at the heart of it all, gravity keeps time. The next time you feel the ground beneath you, remember that it is moving, turning smoothly through space, guided by that same invisible hand. The stars above are moving too, every one of them following the same ancient rhythm. Nothing stands still. Everything flows. The universe spins not by chance, but because gravity wills it to dance, forever and without end. When we look at the night sky, it feels calm and still. Yet everything we see is in motion. The stars we admire are not fixed in place. They move, they turn, they dance in the quiet rhythm of the cosmos. The planets that circle those stars move in graceful paths, each one keeping perfect time in a choreography that has lasted since the dawn of creation. This endless movement, this dance of stars and planets, is one of the most beautiful expressions of the universe's design. The stars are the anchors of this great dance, massive and radiant, born from spinning clouds of gas and dust. When those clouds collapse under gravity, they flatten into disks, and within those disks, smaller swirls form. Each of those smaller swirls becomes a planet, a moon, or a belt of asteroids, all sharing the same direction of spin. It is as if the universe itself taught them to move together, like dancers following the same rhythm. Our own solar system is one such example. The sun spins slowly at the center, its light and warmth extending outward. Around it, the planets move in orbits shaped by gravity and motion. Each planet turns on its own axis while revolving around the sun, and the moons that accompany them follow similar paths. This layered harmony, where everything spins and circles at once, gives structure and peace to the solar system. Without that spin, there would be no stability, no balance, no rhythm to mark the passage of time. The Earth's rotation creates the cycle of day and night, a rhythm so natural that all life depends on it. The tilt of its axis, a result of ancient impacts and motion, gives us the seasons, the slow breathing of the planet through light and shadow. Even the gentle motion of the tides, rising and falling beneath the moon's influence, is part of this same cosmic dance. The universe expresses itself through motion, and we live within that expression. When the planets move, they do not wander randomly. Each one follows a precise path, an orbit defined by gravity's pull and by its own momentum. These paths are not perfect circles but graceful ellipses, subtle variations that bring the planets closer and farther from their star. It is a delicate balance, one that has lasted for billions of years. The same balance allows moons to circle their planets and planets to circle their suns without ever losing their rhythm. The stars themselves also spin. The sun, though massive, completes a slow rotation over weeks. Other stars spin faster or slower depending on their age and mass. Young stars, still filled with energy, turn quickly. As they age, their spin slows, like a dancer finishing a long performance. But even as they slow, they never stop. The universe does not allow stillness. It transforms motion instead of ending it. Beyond the stars and planets, entire systems move together through space. The solar system orbits the center of the Milky Way, completing a single journey around the galaxy over hundreds of millions of years. The galaxy itself spins, pulling its stars into long spiral arms that sweep through the dark like rivers of light. Everything moves, yet nothing falls out of place. The harmony is absolute. If you could step back far enough to see it all, the motion would look like a dance beyond comprehension. Stars circling in galaxies, galaxies spinning in clusters, clusters drifting through the cosmic web. Every part turning, every turn feeding another. It is an endless flow of grace, the universe moving not with haste, but with infinite patience. This motion is not noise or confusion. It is the heartbeat of existence. The planets and stars do not spin aimlessly. They move because motion is the way the universe breathes, the way it stays alive. The same rule that turns the Earth also turns the Milky Way. The same gravity that moves the oceans also guides the galaxies. And within all this motion, there is peace. The spinning of the earth feels gentle. The orbit of the planets feels steady. The light of the stars feels constant. Yet beneath that calm lies unimaginable power, energy moving through eternity, shaping and reshaping everything that exists. It is a quiet power, the kind that does not need to shout to be felt. As you close your eyes and imagine this cosmic dance, let it fill you with calm. You are part of it. The earth beneath you spins through space. Your body moves with it. Your heartbeat follows its rhythm. You are not separate from the universe's dance. You are one of its steps, moving perfectly in time. Everything that exists, from the smallest grain of dust to the brightest star, moves to a rhythm older than time itself. It is the rhythm of creation, the steady pulse that began when the universe was born and has never stopped since. This rhythm is not a sound. It is not a beat that can be heard. It is the movement of matter, the turning of worlds, the silent rotation that connects all things through harmony and flow. When the first clouds of gas began to spin and collapse, they were following this rhythm without knowing it. Gravity pulled them inward, while motion pushed them outward, the two forces dancing together in perfect balance. Every circle, every spiral, every orbit is part of that same balance, repeating endlessly. The universe builds itself in motion, breathes through motion, and sustains its beauty through motion. In the life of a star, that rhythm is clear. It begins as a gentle swirl of dust, invisible in the dark. Slowly, the swirl grows tighter, faster, until it shines. The star spins as it burns, its light flickering with the same pattern that once turned the cloud that birthed it. When it dies, it does not stop spinning. The energy it leaves behind continues to move, spreading across the galaxy in waves of light and dust. Those waves become part of new stars, new planets, new lives. The motion never ends. It only changes form. The same is true for planets. The rotation of Earth began long before life existed, and yet it shapes every part of what life has become. The turning of the planet gives us warmth and rest, day and night, a balance between light and shadow. The moon circles around, pulling softly on the oceans, guiding the tides like a heartbeat of water. Even the air moves in response, forming winds that cross the world, always flowing, always breathing. There is no stillness anywhere, not even in silence. Every atom spins, every electron moves, every photon travels. The smallest vibrations of matter echo the greatest rotations of galaxies. The rhythm of creation is universal. It plays through every scale of existence. What seems calm is alive with motion, and what seems eternal is a cycle repeating without end. This rhythm brings order to chaos. Without spin, matter would collapse inward and never rise again. Without motion, energy would fade and disappear. But because everything turns, the universe remains alive. It keeps its shape, its warmth, its possibility. Motion protects creation, holding it in balance so that it may continue. Even darkness, that endless sea between the stars, is filled with movement. Invisible waves of radiation flow through it. Gravity ripples bend its surface. Particles appear and vanish in the blink of an eye. The void is not empty. It is full of quiet energy, the background hum of existence. The rhythm of creation reaches even there, unseen but always present. If we could hear the universe's song, it would not be a loud symphony, but a soft, endless drone. A tone so low that it feels like silence. Yet that silence would be full of meaning. It would carry the memory of every star born, every world formed, every galaxy spinning in the night. It would be the sound of motion itself, the universe breathing in circles. And within that breath, everything finds its place. The planets spin, the stars burn, the galaxies drift. Even we, small as we are, move with them. Our hearts beat in time with that cosmic rhythm. Our lives, our thoughts, our very existence are built from motion. The atoms within us once spun inside stars. The energy within us once flowed through the universe's first fires. We are part of that same dance, that same eternal pattern of motion and rest. So as you listen to the quiet around you, remember that it is not truly still. The air moves, the earth turns, the stars travel through the sky. The rhythm of creation continues, slow and gentle, steady and calm. It has never stopped. It will never stop. And through it all, the universe whispers the same truth. Everything spins, everything flows, everything belongs. Every motion in the universe follows a path of harmony. Nothing moves without reason. Nothing drifts without balance. The planets, the moons, the stars, all glide along invisible curves written by gravity and time. These curves are orbits, and they form one of the most elegant patterns in all creation. Every orbit is a thread in the tapestry of the cosmos, weaving together light and darkness in a quiet dance that never ends. When a planet moves around a star, it does not simply circle. It balances between falling and flying. Gravity pulls it inward, motion pushes it outward, and the result is perfection. A continuous fall that never touches the ground. The Earth is always falling toward the sun, yet it never reaches it. That balance creates our orbit, a path so steady that it has guided us for billions of years. The same harmony can be found everywhere. The moon moves around the Earth, held by gravity's soft grip, its orbit giving us tides and the slow rhythm of months. Farther out, the other planets follow their own paths, each tuned to the same universal law de. The farther a planet is from its star, the slower it moves, as if the music of the universe lowers its pitch the farther it travels into the dark. This is not chaos, it is symmetry. It is the quiet order that holds everything together. If we could see all the orbits at once, every moon, every planet, every asteroid, we would see a living mandala of motion, a vast spinning design made of light and gravity. The paths would overlap like threads of silk, each one turning in perfect time with the others. The universe would look less like a machine and more like an orchestra, every object playing its note through motion alone. Galaxies, too, move in orbits. The stars within them circle their centers, drawn toward the unseen mass of dark matter and black holes. Each star follows its own rhythm, some fast, some slow, all creating a spiral of light that stretches across unimaginable distances. The shape of a galaxy is not an accident. It is the natural outcome of millions of stars following the harmony of orbits. Even clusters of galaxies, the largest structures we know, move in graceful arcs around one another. They drift through space in slow, patient circles, shaped by gravity on scales beyond our comprehension. From the smallest electron to the grandest galaxy cluster, everything that moves does so in an orbit, bound by the same quiet rule. Motion must balance with gravity. Speed must balance with stillness. Energy must balance with rest. Without these orbits, the universe would have no structure. The planets would drift away, the stars would scatter, and galaxies would dissolve into chaos. Orbits keep everything in place, maintaining the gentle rhythm of the cosmos. They are the reason the sun rises, the moon glows, the seasons change, and life continues. They are the lines of connection that link everything that exists. Even the smallest particles obey this harmony. Electrons circle atomic nuclei in patterns of probability, tiny echoes of the planets circling stars. The same geometry appears again and again, from the microcosm to the macrocosm. The universe repeats its language of motion on every level, as if reminding itself that order and beauty are one and the same. When you close your eyes and imagine the Earth moving through its orbit, you might picture speed and distance, but in truth, it feels like calm. There is no strain in its motion, no friction, no sound. It glides effortlessly, carried by the same forces that guide the stars. That calmness, that steady balance, is the secret of the universe's peace. Every rotation, every orbit, every spin is a form of trust. Matter trusting gravity, motion trusting balance, existence trusting itself. The universe knows how to move, and in that motion, it finds harmony. From galaxies to atoms, everything flows in circles, and through those circles, everything remains whole. As the Earth continues its silent journey around the sun, as the stars turn in their spirals and galaxies drift through the cosmic sea, the same harmony endures. The universe turns, softly and endlessly, held together by the invisible threads of gravity and time, bound by the eternal peace of motion. The universe is often described as vast and unpredictable, yet when we look closer, we see that its movement is not random. Beneath every storm of stars, behind every swirl of galaxies, there is a quiet order holding it all together. Motion creates patterns, and those patterns, though shaped by chance, always settle into harmony. This is the balance between chaos and order, the reason everything spins yet nothing loses its place. When the first clouds of matter began to form, their motions were not smooth. They twisted, collided, and merged, creating turbulence across the young universe. From that turbulence came rotation. Gravity gathered the chaos, bending it into circles. What began as disorder became stability, and what seemed random became rhythm. The universe found its balance not by avoiding chaos, but by turning it into motion. This balance can be seen everywhere. Storms on Earth spin because of the planet's rotation, the air moving around centers of pressure just as galaxies spin around centers of gravity. The same mathematics that governs a hurricane also describes the turning of a spiral galaxy. Nature uses rotation to transform conflict into order. Spin is how the universe resolves tension. The planets and stars are the calm results of this ancient balance. Their movements are steady, predictable, yet born from the wildest beginnings. When a planet forms, countless fragments collide, each impact sending the young world spinning. The result is not chaos, but peace. A steady rotation that lasts for billions of years. The spin that once came from violence becomes a symbol of endurance. Even galaxies, which appear tranquil and symmetrical, hide within them the remnants of collisions. They merge with one another, crash together in silence, and from that motion new spirals emerge. The Milky Way itself is the result of such unions, its graceful arms the product of countless ancient encounters. The universe, through motion, turns disorder into design. Black holes, too, carry this story. They are born from collapse, from the destruction of stars. Yet the spin they possess stabilizes them, keeping their shape and structure. The faster a black hole spins, the more energy it can release, the more balance it can bring to the galaxy that surrounds it. Even in the heart of darkness, motion preserves harmony. This balance between chaos and order is not a battle. It is a conversation, an exchange. Chaos creates movement. Order gives that movement purpose, and the result is beauty. The stars that fill the sky are not the end of disorder. They are its transformation. The energy that once drifted without pattern now burns in patterns of light. If you could see the universe as a whole, it would not look wild or still. It would look alive. Billions of galaxies turning, colliding, and reforming, yet all moving within the same gentle flow. The great web of existence does not fight against itself. It cooperates through motion. Every spin, every orbit, every drift contributes to the grand balance. The same truth echoes through our own world. The rotation of the Earth gives balance to life. Night and day, tides and winds, seasons and cycles. What might seem chaotic in the moment, a storm, a wave, a gust of wind, is part of a larger rhythm, one that sustains all living things. Motion, when seen fully, is not chaos but continuity. The universe does not strive for stillness, because stillness would mean an end. It seeks movement, because motion allows renewal. The constant spinning of galaxies, the endless flow of energy, the circular paths of planets, all are signs of life and balance. The cosmos finds peace not by resting, but by turning forever. So, when you gaze at the stars, remember that you are looking at motion made beautiful. Every point of light you see was once chaos turned to grace. The same balance that keeps the galaxies in their spirals keeps your world in its orbit, keeps your heart beating in rhythm with the turning earth. You are part of that balance, part of the universe's quiet conversation between chaos and order, spinning endlessly, peacefully, through time. Spin is not only beauty, it is power. Every turning object in the universe holds energy within its motion, a quiet force stored in the act of rotation itself. It is invisible, yet it shapes everything we see. From the spin of an atom to the rotation of a galaxy, this hidden energy drives creation forward, binding the universe together in ways both gentle and profound. When a planet spins, it carries enormous kinetic energy, the kind that can move oceans and carve winds. The Earth's rotation gives rise to the patterns of weather, to the flow of air, and the movement of water. The tides, the clouds, even the migration of life across the planet depend on that energy. It is not violent energy, but steady and endless, a soft push that keeps the world alive. The sun, too, spins with quiet strength. Though it turns slowly compared to smaller objects, its mass is so great that its rotational energy is beyond measure. This spin helps shape the sun's magnetic field, which stretches far into space, touching the planets with streams of charged particles. Those invisible currents dance with the Earth's own magnetic field, creating the shimmering curtains of light we call auroras. The beauty of those lights in the polar skies is a direct gift of the sun's rotation. When a star dies and collapses into a smaller body, its spin increases. A white dwarf or a neutron star can rotate many times in a single second, its surface moving faster than anything we can imagine. This is conservation of energy in its purest form. As the star's body shrinks, its spin must quicken, just as a dancer spins faster when she draws her arms inward. The universe wastes nothing. It transforms motion into new motion, energy into new forms of energy. Black holes take this to an extreme. Their rotation bends space and time, dragging the very fabric of the cosmos around them. This spinning motion can release immense amounts of energy, more than all the stars of a galaxy combined. The jets that shoot from their poles, streams of matter and radiation moving close to the speed of light, are powered by spin. Even in darkness, rotation becomes creation. On a cosmic scale, galaxies owe their shape to the power of rotation. Their spiral arms exist because the stars within them move in orbits that carry both motion and balance. The faster a galaxy spins, the tighter its spirals become, the more clearly we see its structure. This rotation also helps galaxies resist collapse, spreading their mass outward so that gravity and motion remain in equilibrium. The light of every galaxy is drawn into shape by the invisible hand of spin. Yet this same principle governs the smallest things as well. In the world of atoms, particles possess spin not as movement through space, but as a fundamental property, an intrinsic form of energy. It determines how particles interact, how they form matter, how they create the chemistry that builds stars and life alike. Even the air you breathe and the cells within you owe their existence to this quiet rotational energy. The same rule that turns galaxies also turns the smallest pieces of reality. This connection across scale is what makes the universe so extraordinary. The same physics that shapes a planet's spin also shapes an atom's behavior. The same energy that drives galaxies in their spirals drives the wind that brushes across your skin. Rotation is the bridge between the vast and the intimate, the law that unites the infinite and the small. All around you, this power hums softly. You can feel it in the warmth of sunlight, in the pull of gravity, in the steady rhythm of time. Every rotation transfers its energy through the cosmos, a never-ending chain of motion. It is this quiet power that keeps the universe alive. Without spin, there would be collapse, silence, and darkness. With it, there is balance, light, and motion. As you think about this, let the thought bring you calm. Every force that shapes the stars also shapes you. You are surrounded by motion, carried by it, sustained by it. The universe is not still, and neither are you. You move with it, turn with it, belong to it. The power of rotation is not something distant in the stars. It is within every breath, every heartbeat, every moment. Long before stars existed, before galaxies had shape or glow, the universe was a soft and silent ocean of light. It was smooth, balanced, and nearly still, filled with a warm glow that stretched in every direction. But even in that perfect calm, tiny imperfections were waiting. Small ripples in density, faint whispers of motion that would one day grow into the first signs of structure. Those gentle variations became the seeds of everything that spins today. In that early universe, gravity began to gather matter together, pulling on those small ripples. As clouds of gas formed, their particles moved toward each other, colliding, merging, and creating the first hints of rotation. These motions were tiny at first, barely noticeable, but gravity has patience. It took those faint movements and amplified them, shaping the first cosmic clouds into turning disks of gas and light. Every object that would ever spin, every star, every planet, every galaxy, inherited its rotation from that moment. The universe, once nearly still, began to turn upon itself. Each small swirl became a great spiral, each spiral a home for countless stars. The first spin was not random. It was born from the subtle imbalance that allows creation to exist. Without those ripples, without that motion, the cosmos would have remained cold and dark, a sea of stillness without form. This is the quiet beauty of beginnings. Perfection is not fertile. Stillness cannot create. It is the small differences, the unevenness, that bring the universe to life. The first spin was a kind of imperfection, a gentle tilt, a slight motion, but from it came everything. Motion brought heat, collisions brought light, and rotation brought stability. The first stars were born inside those spinning clouds, igniting from compression and gravity, each one carrying forward the rotation of its birth. As time passed, those spinning clouds grew into galaxies. The rotation that began in silence expanded into structures so vast that even light takes ages to cross them. Each galaxy carried a memory of that first motion, written into its spiral arms, into its stars, into the flow of its dust. The pattern of spin became the language of the universe, a message repeated endlessly across the sky. And even now, when we look out into space, we see that message everywhere. Galaxies turn, stars rotate, planets spin, and moons follow their orbits in time. All of them are repeating the motion of that first cosmic turn. The universe remembers how it began, and through every rotation, it retells the story. Scientists have tried to trace this motion back to its origin, to understand where the first spin came from. The answer, as far as we can tell, lies in the earliest moments of time itself. When the universe expanded from its beginning, energy and matter were not spread perfectly evenly. Tiny fluctuations appeared, small differences that gravity could use to form structure. Those differences gave the universe its first twist, its first rotation. Even at the birth of time, motion was already written into existence. It is astonishing to think that the turning of the earth beneath your feet, the slow spinning of the sun, and the swirling of entire galaxies all come from those first ripples. The same movement that began before the first star was born continues now, unchanged, flowing through everything that exists. Every rotation you can see is a continuation of that ancient gesture. The universe still spinning from its very first breath. The first spin never ended. It only grew. It spread into the stars, into the planets, into the atoms that make up life itself. You carry that motion within you, in the particles that turn endlessly inside your body, in the cycles of your heart and breath, in the movement of the world that holds you. The first motion of the universe did not pass away. It became the pulse of existence. And so the universe continues to turn, softly and endlessly, tracing the same invisible circles that began in the quiet dawn of time. There was never a moment of stillness, only motion waiting to be born. And from that motion came everything. Light, matter, balance, and the eternal spin that holds it all together. The universe speaks through movement. Every planet, every particle, every ripple of light is part of a vast conversation written not in words, but in motion. From the beginning, this language has filled the cosmos, shaping everything that exists. It is a language older than time, a rhythm that needs no sound, no symbol, no translation. When we study the heavens, we are reading this silent dialogue. The rotation of planets tells the story of their birth. The spin of stars reveals their inner balance. The slow drift of galaxies across the night describes the expansion of space itself. Each turn, each orbit, each vibration is a word in the sentence of creation. The beauty of this language lies in its consistency. Whether it is an atom turning in place or a galaxy spiraling through infinity, the same rules apply. Motion is both expression and memory. It records how things came to be and shows how they will continue. The universe remembers through movement, every spin preserving the trace of its origin. The earth spins, and from that motion come the rhythms that guide our lives. Days, nights, seasons, tides, all are expressions of the same law. The planet does not speak, but its rotation tells us everything we need to know about time, warmth, and change. The same is true for stars. Their rotation carries messages about their age, their mass, their history. Some spin quickly, others slowly, each revealing a different chapter of cosmic evolution. Even the light from stars carries this motion. As it travels, it shifts and bends, revealing the speed of its source. Astronomers can measure how fast a star turns by studying the tiny variations in its light. They are listening to the language of spin, decoding the whispers of the universe. In this way, science is not separate from poetry. Both are forms of translation. What makes this language so peaceful is that it never rushes. The universe does not shout. It moves with infinite patience. Galaxies complete their rotations over countless years, yet they never falter. Their slow grace is the handwriting of time itself. Even the smallest particles, spinning far faster than anything we can imagine, follow the same serenity. Their motion is exact, continuous, calm. Everything that exists communicates through this motion. The pull of gravity, the push of energy, the endless cycles of creation and collapse, all of them are words in the same conversation. The universe speaks by turning, by moving, by balancing. It says that nothing stands still because stillness is not life. Life, even in its smallest form, is movement. When we listen to this cosmic language, we begin to understand our place within it. We are not separate from the spinning earth, the orbiting moon, the drifting stars. We are made of the same motion, the same rhythm. The atoms within us spin. The blood in our veins flows. The thoughts in our minds move from one spark to another. We are movement made conscious. There is peace in this understanding. To know that everything moves is to know that everything is connected. The same spin that turns the galaxies turns you. The same law that governs the stars guides your heartbeat. When you breathe, you are echoing the rhythm of creation itself. The universe does not need words to tell its story. Its message is written in light, in gravity, in motion. Every rotation is a sentence, every orbit a paragraph, every galaxy a chapter in a book with no end. And though we may only read a few pages, we are part of the story, written in the same language, speaking through the same eternal motion. When you look at the night sky, it seems filled with countless stars, each one shining alone. Yet every one of those stars belongs to a greater whole, a vast city of light called a galaxy. And every galaxy, no matter how distant or faint, turns. Their spirals and shapes are sculpted by motion, their arms stretched by rotation, their beauty born from endless spin. The Milky Way, our home, is one of those galaxies. It turns like a giant wheel of light, its stars moving in orbits that take hundreds of millions of years to complete. The sun, along with all its planets, follows that path, circling the galactic center through a sea of stars. We do not feel this motion because it is steady and smooth, but even now, as you breathe, our solar system drifts along that vast spiral, carried by the rotation of the galaxy. This motion began long ago, when the Milky Way was still forming from clouds of gas and dark matter. As those clouds collapsed under gravity, they began to spin, flattening into a disk. Stars formed within that disk, each inheriting a portion of its rotation. Over time, the galaxy shaped itself into a graceful spiral, its arms tracing the path of this eternal motion. The spin of galaxies is not random. It is the natural outcome of gravity and balance working together across unimaginable time. Galaxies are like living systems, their rotation distributing energy, stabilizing their shape, and allowing new stars to form. Without that spin, the gas within them would collapse too quickly, forming dense clusters without order or beauty. Rotation gives galaxies the time they need to breathe, to sustain creation slowly and peacefully. It is the universe's way of balancing speed with grace. Different types of galaxies carry their spin in different forms. Spiral galaxies, like ours, turn with wide, luminous arms. Elliptical galaxies rotate more slowly, their stars moving in complex, layered orbits. Irregular galaxies twist in multiple directions, shaped by collisions and mergers. Yet, all of them share one truth: they move. Every shape the cosmos creates comes from motion. The rotation of a galaxy is not just visible in its light, but also in its energy. Astronomers can measure how quickly a galaxy spins by studying how its light shifts as it turns. One side moves toward us, the other moves away, stretching and compressing the waves of light. From this, scientists can map the speed and direction of motion, uncovering the hidden structure of the cosmos. And when they do, they discover something astonishing. Galaxies spin faster than their visible matter allows. This mystery led to the discovery of dark matter, an invisible substance that fills the universe, adding weight and gravity where none can be seen. Without dark matter, galaxies would spin apart. With it, they stay whole, their stars moving in harmony. Even in what cannot be seen, motion finds balance. The unseen holds the seen together, and rotation reveals its presence. Each galaxy's rotation tells a story not only of its own birth, but also of the universe's expansion. As space itself stretches, galaxies drift farther apart, yet within each, the internal spin continues. They are like islands in a rising tide, each turning calmly while the sea between them grows. The galaxies do not fight the expansion. They move with it, carried gently by forces far larger than themselves. When you imagine this, think of the universe as a great dance hall of light. The galaxies are the dancers, each turning at its own pace, yet all keeping time with the same music, the rhythm of creation. The spiral arms are their gestures, sweeping through space with elegance and purpose. And somewhere among those arms, the Earth moves too, small but perfectly in step. The galaxies will continue to spin for as long as the universe endures. Their motion may slow over time, their stars may fade, but the rotation will remain, a memory carved into the structure of space. It is the quiet heartbeat of the cosmos, repeating endlessly, reminding all things that motion is eternal. Every star in the sky turns with a rhythm of its own. To the eye, they seem still, but deep within their light lies motion, slow, steady, and endless. A star is not a silent flame. It is a sphere of energy and motion, balanced between gravity pulling inward and pressure pushing outward. Its spin gives it shape, balance, and life. When a star is born, it begins as a vast cloud of gas and dust collapsing under gravity. As the cloud falls inward, it starts to rotate just as all things in the universe do. The tighter it collapses, the faster it spins, conserving its motion as it becomes smaller. This rotation flattens the cloud into a disk, and at its center, heat builds until the first light appears. That light marks the birth of a star, and from that moment, the spin becomes part of its nature. The rotation of a star controls much of its behavior. It shapes its magnetic fields, it stirs its outer layers, and it spreads its heat evenly across its surface. A fast spinning star can generate storms of charged particles, sending them into space as waves of invisible wind. A slow spinning star, like the sun, turns with calm precision, allowing its planets to orbit in peace. As stars age, their spin changes. When they are young, they rotate quickly, full of energy. Over time, as they release light and wind, they lose speed, slowing down as they grow older. Yet even as their motion softens, they never stop turning. Spin remains, steady and constant, like a quiet heartbeat that never fades. Some stars, when they die, collapse into smaller, denser forms. A star the size of a sun may become a white dwarf, spinning faster than before. A larger star might shrink into a neutron star, a tiny body with the mass of many suns, turning hundreds of times each second. The collapse increases their spin to extraordinary speeds, a final echo of the motion they carried through life. This increase in rotation reveals the universe's unbroken rule. Motion cannot be destroyed, only transformed. When matter collapses, it spins faster to keep its balance. The same principle that governs the movement of planets governs the destiny of stars. What begins as a gentle rotation ends as a rapid whirl, light turning into darkness, but motion never ceasing. Even black holes, born from the death of the most massive stars, carry their spin. Their rotation twists space and time itself, pulling the universe into a swirl around them. Some black holes spin so fast that they drag light into orbits near their edges, creating rings of brilliance that mark the boundary between energy and silence. The power of that spin is beyond comprehension, yet it follows the same calm rule that governs the motion of every grain of dust. The rotation of stars also affects the planets that form around them. The disks of gas and dust surrounding young stars spin along with their parents, and within those disks, planets take shape. The spin of the star sets the direction of every orbit, defining the motion of entire worlds. Without that rotation, the solar systems we see would never exist. If you could watch the sky with eyes that see motion instead of light, you would see the stars as spinning spheres, each with its own rhythm. Some would turn lazily, glowing in peace. Others would whirl rapidly, radiating energy like cosmic fires. Together, they would form a silent orchestra, each rotation a note in the symphony of existence. The universe is full of this quiet spinning, From the slow grace of ancient stars to the furious speed of neutron stars, from the calm of our sun to the turbulence of giants far away, motion unites them all. Every star is both still and moving, both calm and alive, both ancient and new. In their rotation, we see the reflection of the universe itself, infinite, balanced, and beautifully in motion. The planets that wander through the darkness of space are not silent stones drifting without direction. Each one turns. Each one carries its own rhythm, a slow and steady rotation that gives shape to time. The spin of planets is one of the most peaceful patterns in the universe, a sign of balance born from ancient motion. When a planet forms, it grows within a spinning disk of dust and gas around a young star. Countless collisions shape it, every impact adding a little motion, a little spin. The result of all those ancient impacts and flows is a single unified rotation. Once it begins, that motion continues forever. Nothing can stop it, not even time itself. The planet becomes a moving world, a sphere turning in quiet balance. The Earth turns once each day, a rotation so constant that it defines our sense of time. The gentle movement brings the sun across the sky, guides the shadows, and divides light from darkness. It is a rhythm that life has come to depend on, a cosmic clock that keeps perfect time. Without that spin, there would be no sunrise, no sunset, no steady heartbeat to the passage of days. The other planets each turn in their own way. Some spin quickly, others slowly. Jupiter, vast and mighty, completes a rotation in less than half an Earth day, its motion driving storms that last for centuries. Venus turns in the opposite direction, so slowly that a single day there lasts longer than its year. Mars rotates at nearly the same rate as Earth, its red deserts swept by winds that echo our own. Each world carries its own version of motion, its own expression of the same cosmic rule. Moons, too, are bound by this rhythm. Most of them keep one face always toward their planet, a state called tidal locking. Gravity has synchronized their spin with their orbit, creating a perfect balance between motion and rest. The moon that circles Earth does this, always showing us the same side, turning once with every trip around our planet. Though it seems still, it too spins, silently keeping rhythm with our world. These rotations are not accidents. They are the natural outcome of gravity, motion, and time working together. The spin of a planet shapes its weather, its seasons, its very identity. Without rotation, winds would not form, oceans would not circulate, and climates would not balance. Motion gives life its rhythm and its peace. Even planets far beyond our solar system turn in the same way. Astronomers have detected their spins through the patterns of light reflected from their surfaces. Some worlds whirl rapidly, others move with the patience of eternity, but all follow the same cosmic rule. Rotation is the foundation of harmony. The act of spinning also gives shape to planets themselves. The faster a world turns, the more it bulges at its middle. The Earth is not a perfect sphere, but slightly wider at the equator because of its motion. Saturn's beautiful rings trace the plane of its rotation, marking its balance in space. The shape of every world is written by the rhythm of its spin. When a planet slows, it does so only slightly, through the invisible tug of tides. The moon pulls gently on the Earth, stretching the oceans, creating friction that takes tiny moments from our rotation. Over ages, the Earth's days grow longer, but the change is so slow that no one living could notice. The universe moves in patient increments, never rushing, never still. If you were standing on another world, you would feel its rotation in subtle ways. The length of its day would guide its temperature, its winds, its colors. The stars would move differently across its sky, tracing paths determined by its spin. Every planet has its own version of time, its own rhythm, its own balance. The motion of planets and moons connects them to their stars, their galaxies, and to the universe itself. Each one spins not alone, but as part of the great network of motion that fills existence. The same rotation that turns the galaxies also turns the worlds beneath our feet. The universe keeps time through them all, and as the earth continues to turn, carrying the oceans, the mountains, and all life upon it, that motion becomes a kind of peace. The steady spin, unchanged through the ages, is the background song of our world. Every moment you live takes place upon a planet that moves with quiet grace through the dark, spinning softly, endlessly, faithfully. The moons that circle the planets are like silent dancers, each following a perfect path, each turning in time with the world they orbit. Their motion may seem simple from afar, but in truth, it is full of grace and balance. Every moon spins on its own axis, moves around its planet, and travels with it around the star. It is a harmony of circles within circles, a quiet geometry written across the darkness. The Earth's moon is the one we know best. It turns slowly, always showing the same face to our planet, a result of the soft but constant pull of gravity. This state of balance, where the spin of a moon matches its orbit, is called tidal locking. It happens over millions of years as friction and gravity work together to bring motion into harmony. To us, it seems still, but that stillness hides a perfect rhythm. One rotation for every journey around Earth. The moon turns once every month, just enough to keep its same face turned toward us forever. Other moons follow their own patterns. Some spin freely, turning quickly as they orbit. Others, like the moons of Jupiter and Saturn, are locked in resonances, where their rotations and orbits follow precise mathematical ratios. It is as though they are keeping time together, an unseen music of motion played across the skies. The giant planets are surrounded by more than moons. They are also encircled by rings, vast, thin disks of ice and dust that move in unison. Each particle within those rings follows its own orbit, yet together they form a structure so delicate and ordered that it looks like solid light. The rings of Saturn are the most beautiful of all, a frozen symphony in motion. When sunlight touches those rings, it reveals their layers. Some move faster, some slower, each band separated by invisible harmonies of gravity. The tiny particles collide, drift, and settle into perfect balance. Nothing in nature could be more peaceful than that. Billions of fragments moving together without chaos, held in endless rotation by the planet's quiet pull. Even the moons near those rings are part of this pattern. Some shepherd the edges, using their gravity to keep the particles in place. They move slightly ahead or behind the rings, their presence shaping the gaps and waves within them. Every moon's gravity is a soft hand guiding the dance, keeping everything in rhythm. The creation of rings and moons follows the same rule that shapes all motion. When a planet forms, leftover dust and debris remain around it. Instead of falling inward, this material spreads into disks, stabilized by rotation. The faster the spin, the wider the disk, until gravity draws some of it into moons while the rest remains as rings. Rotation does not scatter matter, it organizes it. From far away, these systems appear calm and unchanging, but up close, they are alive with motion. Particles glide past one another, pulled and pushed in delicate patterns. The same forces that shape galaxies also shape these fragile rings. Scale changes, but the rule remains. Motion brings balance. The moons, too, are more than companions. They affect their planets deeply. The pull of Earth's moon creates tides, slowing the planet's spin, stabilizing its tilt. Without the moon, Earth's axis would shift wildly, seasons would be chaotic, and life would struggle to adapt. The presence of one spinning body steadies another, keeping time steady and the world calm. Every moon, every ring, Every orbit is part of the same great design. None of them stand alone. They move together through space, connected by gravity, by motion, by the same pattern that governs all of existence. Their dance is ancient and unbroken, a living reminder that even in the quiet darkness, everything moves with purpose. When you look at the moon, glowing softly in the night, you are seeing a world in perfect balance. A world turning slowly, gently, in rhythm with the planet it guards. And when you imagine the rings of Saturn shining far away, think of them not as decoration, but as the universe's handwriting, a record of motion written in dust and light. Every spin, every orbit, every shimmer in those rings tells the same story. The story of harmony born from gravity, of peace born from motion. It is the same story that shapes the galaxies, the same one that turns the stars, the same one that carries our planet through space. Always spinning, always steady, always alive. The motion of the universe does not stop at the surface of worlds. Deep within every planet, within every moon, motion continues, unseen but powerful. Even in the heart of solid stone, matter moves, turns, and flows. The same laws that spin galaxies and stars also work in silence beneath the crust of planets, shaping mountains, oceans, and the hidden rhythms of life itself. Inside Earth, everything moves in slow spirals. The planet's rotation keeps its molten core in constant motion, turning liquid metal deep below the surface. That spinning metal generates a magnetic field, a shield of invisible force that stretches far into space and protects our world from the storms of the sun. Every compass needle, every northern and southern pole, exists because of that hidden motion within the planet. The layers of Earth also turn and drift, though so slowly that it takes ages for their movement to show. Continents slide across the surface, carried by the flow of rock beneath them. Oceans open and close, mountains rise and fall, deserts shift, all because the planet beneath our feet is alive with motion. The rotation that began at Earth's birth continues deep inside, where it drives the quiet processes of creation and renewal. Other planets follow their own internal motions. Jupiter and Saturn, made mostly of gas, have winds and currents that circle them in endless bands. The storms of Jupiter are older than recorded history, turning without rest, kept alive by the energy of rotation. Saturn's atmosphere, striped with gold and silver clouds, moves in waves that echo the motion of its rings. Even these giants, far beyond Earth, breathe through motion. On icy worlds like Europa or Enceladus, deep beneath frozen crusts, oceans move in darkness. Their waters are stirred by the rotation of their moons and the pull of gravity from their planets. That subtle motion generates heat, keeping those hidden seas from freezing solid. Within that warmth may lie the possibility of life, motion sustaining energy, energy sustaining existence. Even air and light move in response to rotation. The winds on Earth are shaped by the planet's spin, flowing in great patterns from east to west and back again. The Coriolis effect bends those winds into spirals, giving rise to cyclones and weather systems. What we call a storm is not chaos, but motion seeking balance. The same principle that shapes galaxies shapes clouds, turning imbalance into pattern, restlessness into flow. The ocean too responds to motion. As the Earth turns, the seas rise and fall beneath the pull of the moon and the sun. These tides breathe in and out, steady and eternal. Every shore on Earth feels their rhythm, the soft reminder that even water answers the call of rotation. The tides are the voice of motion made gentle, an ancient lullaby written by the turning of the world. Even the light from the sun dances to the same rhythm. As the sun rotates, magnetic fields twist and tangle across its surface, creating bursts of light called solar flares. Those flares release waves of energy that travel across space and reach our world. The auroras that glow above the poles are their reflection, a silent greeting from the sun's spinning heart. Inside the smallest particles, motion continues still. The electrons in every atom spin in patterns that determine how matter behaves. Their rotation defines the structure of everything that exists: air, water, rock, life. Without their motion, matter itself could not hold together. Spin gives strength to existence, from the invisible to the infinite. The lesson of all this motion is simple and profound. Nothing in the universe is ever truly still. Even in what seems solid, there is flow. Even in silence, there is rhythm. The same force that turns galaxies also turns the atoms within you. The warmth you feel, the breath you take, the beating of your heart, all are echoes of the same motion that began when time began. As the Earth continues its slow rotation, carrying us through night and day, the motion within it never stops. Deep inside, the planet keeps turning, and through it, life endures. The stars above move in their paths, and beneath them, the ground moves too. Everything turns together, from the largest to the smallest, from the brightest to the hidden. Motion is the thread that binds it all, the quiet truth that the universe whispers with every spin. Light too belongs to the great movement of the universe. Though it travels faster than anything else we know, it is not separate from the rhythm that turns the stars and spins the worlds. Light moves in waves, spirals of energy that flow endlessly through space, and in every place it touches, shadows are born to follow. Together, light and shadow create the patterns by which we see the motion of everything. When the sun rises, it paints the surface of Earth in shifting light. The spinning of the planet pulls the shadows across mountains and seas, turning dawn into day and day into night. This quiet cycle, repeated endlessly, gives us time. Time is not a clock on a wall or a number on a screen. Time is light moving with the rotation of the Earth, shadows sliding slowly across the land. The simple act of turning creates the rhythm of existence. Every beam of light carries the story of its source. The light from the sun comes from a spinning star whose own motion sends energy outward in all directions. The light from distant galaxies twists slightly as it travels, shaped by their rotation and the gravity they carry. Even the color of that light changes depending on how fast the object spins or moves. When we observe the stars, we are not only seeing where they are, we are feeling how they move. In the heart of galaxies, enormous black holes spin so quickly that they twist the space around them. Light passing near them follows curved paths, bending into graceful arcs. Some of that light escapes, forming beams that shoot into the darkness, while some circles forever, trapped in endless motion. In this way, even darkness becomes part of the dance. Shadows are not the absence of light, but the shapes light takes when motion bends it. The interplay between light and shadow gives depth to everything we see. It turns the flatness of space into texture, into distance, into form. A planet glows on one side and darkens on the other because it spins, presenting each face to the light in turn. The moon shows its phases as it moves around its planet, a changing pattern of shadow and illumination. Every curve of brightness and darkness is a record of motion. Even on the smallest scale, light moves in ways that reveal the structure of the universe. Photons, the particles of light, carry both energy and spin. They twist as they travel, and that twist determines how they interact with matter. When light meets a surface, its angle and spin decide whether it reflects, bends, or is absorbed. The shimmer of the sea, the gleam of a star, the glow of a crystal, all come from light's motion and the way it dances with what it touches. The same is true for color. The shade of light depends on its wavelength, which stretches or compresses as the source moves. When a star spins toward us, its light shifts slightly toward blue. When it spins away, it shifts toward red. This subtle difference allows scientists to read motion across unimaginable distances. The stars speak through color, their rotation written in their glow. Shadows, too, are full of motion. They stretch and change as the world turns, marking the passage of time more faithfully than any clock. The movement of a shadow is a gentle reminder that the earth is alive beneath our feet, rotating always, carrying us through the heavens. Even when we sleep, the world moves, and the shadows slide quietly on without us. Light and shadow also shape emotion. The cycle of day and night influences every living thing. Plants reach for the light and rest in the dark. Animals move with the sun and sleep with the stars. Our own bodies carry this rhythm. Our hearts slow at night. Our minds calm. Our breaths deepen. The rotation of the planet writes itself into our lives through the motion of light. So much of existence is defined by what we do not notice. The turning of earth, the travel of light, the slow drift of shadows, all of them move in perfect balance. When we see a sunrise, we are not watching the sunrise at all. We are feeling the earth spin. When we watch the stars cross the sky, it is our world that is moving, not theirs. Light and shadow are the mirrors through which the universe shows us its motion, and in that motion, there is peace. The same balance that governs galaxies plays upon the surface of every leaf. The same spin that shapes stars carries sunlight to our eyes. The dance of light and darkness is eternal, steady, and soft. It is the universe breathing, turning, whispering its calm truth. Everything moves, and through that movement, everything shines. Energy moves through the universe like a tide. It flows from the hearts of stars, through the dust of galaxies, across the emptiness between worlds. It never stops, never fades completely. Like motion itself, energy is eternal, changing form but never disappearing. It flows in patterns that follow the same laws that turn the planets and spin the stars. Every movement, every beam of light, every pulse of warmth is part of this great circulation. Inside a star, energy begins as the fusion of atoms, a slow transformation of matter into light. That light travels outward, crossing vast distances to touch planets and awaken life. The warmth we feel from the sun is a message billions of years old, born deep within a spinning sphere of fire and carried through space by motion alone. The sunlight that shines on your skin today began as energy released in the sun's heart long before you existed. When that energy leaves the sun, it travels as both wave and particle, carried forward by the universe's rhythm. It spreads through space, reflecting from worlds, scattering through clouds, absorbed by air and ocean. Every plant that grows, every wind that blows, every spark of life draws from that flow. The spin of the earth, the movement of its atmosphere, the turning of its seasons all shape how that energy is distributed. Nothing in nature is separate from the motion that delivers energy through space. The galaxies themselves are woven from these currents. Each one is a great engine of energy in motion, its stars burning and spinning, its gas flowing in luminous arms. The rotation of galaxies regulates how energy spreads within them. The movement of stars stirs their surroundings, mixing clouds of dust, so that new stars can form. The energy of motion becomes the energy of light, and the energy of light becomes the seed for more motion. Creation feeds creation in a cycle without end. Even the darkness between galaxies is not empty. It hums with faint radiation, a background glow left from the universe's earliest light. That ancient energy fills every corner of space, connecting everything with an invisible thread. Wherever matter exists, it feels this background warmth. The cosmos breathes through it, endlessly exchanging energy between the bright and the dark, the full and the empty. Gravity, too, is part of this flow. When matter moves, gravity carries energy from one place to another, bending the paths of light, shaping the spin of stars, guiding the motion of galaxies. Every orbit, every spiral, every turn is a transfer of energy in perfect balance. The Earth moves around the Sun not by force alone, but by the harmony between motion and gravity, between energy and rest. On smaller scales, the same principle rules. Within atoms, particles exchange energy through their spin and vibration. Every electron that moves, every photon that escapes, follows the same rhythm as the planets and galaxies. Energy never stands still. It flows like water through the channels of creation. Even when it seems to pause, it waits, ready to move again when the universe calls. In the deep silence of space, these flows create patterns too large to see all at once. Magnetic fields stretch across galaxies, invisible lines of energy twisting through the stars. Waves of radiation ripple through the void, carrying the imprint of events billions of years old. The universe is not still but alive with movement, with energy drifting like breath between all things. Here on Earth, that same energy flows through everything we know. It moves through sunlight, wind, tides, and fire. It circulates within our own bodies, powering every heartbeat and thought. We are not apart from the cosmic flow. We are expressions of it. The warmth in your hands, the rhythm of your pulse, the spark behind your eyes, all are part of the same energy that moves through the stars. The flow of energy and the motion of matter are one. They are two sides of the same endless process. When matter moves, it carries energy. When energy moves, it gives rise to motion. Together, they sustain the universe. The cosmos never truly rests because its peace lies in motion. Every rotation, every light wave, every breath is a continuation of that infinite exchange. When you look at the night sky, remember that the light reaching you is ancient energy still on its journey. It has crossed oceans of space to touch your eyes, carrying the story of its source. And when you breathe in, the warmth within you is not separate from that story. You are part of the same current, part of the same quiet river of energy that has flowed since the beginning of time. The more we look into the universe, the more we see that everything is connected through motion. There is no separation between the spinning of a galaxy and the turning of an atom. No divide between the orbit of a moon and the pulse of a star. Every rotation, every vibration, every drift follows the same law, the same pattern, the same ancient rhythm. Motion is the thread that ties all existence together, weaving every scale of reality into one seamless design. This unity begins with gravity, the force that guides motion across the cosmos. It is the same gravity that keeps the moon in its orbit and holds galaxies in their spirals. The same pull that shapes the path of a falling leaf shapes the motion of stars around their centers. There is no small or large to gravity, only balance. The universe does not divide its rules by size or distance. Every movement follows the same harmony. From the smallest particle to the largest cluster of galaxies, the spin of matter carries this unity as well. The way an electron turns within an atom mirrors the way planets turn in space. The pattern repeats again and again, scaled to infinity, each level echoing the one above and below. The cosmos is not built in fragments but in reflections. It repeats its geometry, its rhythm, its music, until even the smallest motion becomes a mirror of the whole. Energy flows through these layers, connecting them. The warmth that moves through your body once traveled as starlight. The atoms that make up your bones were forged inside ancient suns, spun outward by the same forces that still turn the galaxies. You are not separate from the universe's movement. You are a continuation of it. The same motion that began at the dawn of creation still moves within you now. Time, too, joins in this unity. It is measured not by numbers but by motion, by the turning of planets, the orbit of moons, the spin of galaxies. Every tick of time is the echo of a rotation somewhere in the universe. Without motion, time would not exist. for it is movement that gives time its meaning. The past is motion that has passed, the future is motion yet to come, and the present is motion unfolding in this moment. This connectedness extends beyond what we can see. Invisible fields link the stars, unseen waves carry energy through the void, and subtle forces ripple across existence, binding it all together. Even the darkness between galaxies is alive with quiet motion, full of particles that move too gently to see. Stillness is an illusion. Every corner of the cosmos vibrates with the same universal rhythm. On Earth, we feel this unity in ways both simple and profound. The rotation of the planet guides the tides, the winds, and the seasons. The movement of the moon shapes our nights. The warmth of the sun's spinning light feeds every form of life. Our breath moves in patterns that mirror the flow of oceans and the drift of clouds. Even our hearts follow a rhythm that echoes the turning of the world. We live in harmony with the motion of the universe, whether we realize it or not. When we look beyond our world, the pattern continues. Galaxies orbit one another in clusters. Clusters move within larger webs of gravity. The whole cosmos drifts through time like a single vast organism, its countless parts moving together, each motion affecting the rest. There is no true isolation in the universe. Every atom, every planet, every beam of light plays a role in the great dance of existence. This unity brings peace. It means that nothing is truly alone. The movement of a star billions of light years away affects the fabric of space that also surrounds you. The rotation of Earth is part of a motion that began before time began and will continue long after. You are carried by that motion, always connected to everything that turns, breathes, and shines. When you sit in stillness, you may think you are motionless, but you are moving with the planet, with the sun, with the galaxy, with the expanding universe. Every heartbeat, every thought, every breath joins the flow. Stillness is simply motion in harmony. To be at peace is to move with the universe rather than against it. In this understanding lies the quiet truth. There is no separation between you and the cosmos. You are made of the same spinning matter, the same flowing energy, the same eternal rhythm. You are not beneath the stars. You are among them, turning with them, shining with them. The unity of motion is the unity of existence, the endless circle that connects everything to everything else. Long ago, philosophers spoke of the music of the spheres, a harmony born not from sound but from motion. They believed that the planets, as they moved through the heavens, created a cosmic symphony too perfect for human ears to hear. Though they had no instruments to prove it, their intuition was right. The universe does sing, but its melody is written in the movement of light, gravity, and time. Every orbit, every rotation, every vibration is a note in that eternal song. The Earth's rotation hums at a frequency too low to hear, a slow rhythm that marks the passing of days and nights. The moon adds its soft harmony as it circles our planet, its motion shaping the tides and the gentle pull of water across the world. The sun, spinning at the heart of our system, radiates energy in waves that travel through space, waves that can be measured as tones if we listen with the right tools. These are not sounds in the air, but vibrations in the fabric of space, music that fills the universe with motion instead of noise. Galaxies, too, add their voices to this unseen symphony. As their stars move in graceful spirals, they create ripples of gravity that drift through the cosmos. These waves pass through everything, stretching and compressing space itself. Though we cannot hear them, they play endlessly, the background harmony of the universe. Every collision between black holes, every orbit of stars around their centers, adds another chord to this vast, ongoing composition. Even the smallest things contribute their notes. Atoms vibrate, electrons spin, and photons pulse as they move. Together, They create the constant hum of existence. It is a harmony of scales, from the infinite to the invisible, all following the same rhythm, the same laws. The universe does not play music as we do, with instruments or voices, but through the motion of everything that exists. If you could translate those motions into sound, you would hear layers upon layers of tone. The slow turning of planets would sound like deep, endless drums. The rotation of stars would hum like gentle strings. The swirling of galaxies would rise and fall like a great wind across eternity. The smallest particles would add shimmering high notes, delicate and endless. All of it together would create a sound too vast to imagine. The song of being itself. Even though our ears cannot hear it, our lives move to its rhythm. The beating of our hearts, the flow of our breath, the patterns of our sleep and waking, all are echoes of cosmic motion. We are made of atoms that once moved inside stars, atoms that still carry the vibrations of their birth. The same frequencies that shape the planets shape us. We are part of the universe's song, not listeners standing apart, but notes within the melody. The ancient philosophers imagined that the planets moved in perfect ratios, forming intervals like the strings of a harp. They were not wrong. The distances and orbits of the planets follow mathematical patterns that create balance and harmony. Gravity and motion work together like composers, arranging the universe with precision and grace. Every spin, every orbit, every drift fits into this vast composition, written by the laws of nature. There is peace in knowing this. The universe is not random chaos, but rhythm and balance. Even when stars explode or galaxies collide, the energy released joins the greater song. Nothing is wasted, nothing is lost. Each change becomes another movement in the music, another phrase in the endless melody. Creation and destruction are not separate. They are harmonies in different keys. If you close your eyes and imagine the night sky not as silent, but alive with vibration, you might feel the truth of it. The stars are not distant. They are part of a living symphony that includes you. The planets turning, the moons orbiting, the galaxies spinning, all of it resonates through time, an eternal chord that never fades. We may never hear this music with our ears, but we can feel it in our hearts. The rhythm of breath, the pulse of blood, the turning of thought, all of them are the echoes of motion. The same law that keeps the earth turning keeps your body alive. You are a note in the cosmic harmony, a tone that began with the birth of the stars and will continue long after them. The music of the spheres is real, not as sound, but as truth. It is the voice of motion, the heartbeat of the universe, the gentle reminder that everything moves together. And though we cannot hear it, we are part of it, always and forever, turning in rhythm with the stars. Time itself is the child of motion. It has no shape, no color, no sound, and yet we feel it with every breath, with every sunrise, with every slow turning of the earth. Time is not separate from space or from existence. It is born from the movement of matter, from the spinning of worlds, from the flow of light. Without motion, there would be no time, no change, no life. Every rotation, every orbit, every vibration is the universe keeping time with itself. The Earth's rotation gives us the measure of a day. The turning of the moon gives us the month, and the journey around the sun creates the year. These are not inventions, but reflections of cosmic rhythm. The steady spin of the planet is the tick of the universe's clock, a cycle that began long before humans walked the earth and will continue long after we are gone. Each sunrise is a reminder that time moves in circles, not lines. What ends always begins again. In the stars, the same pattern continues. They are born from swirling clouds. They burn through their fuel. They die, and their remnants create new stars. Time for a star is not a march forward, but a great circle of transformation. Even when a star collapses into a black hole, its energy and motion do not end. They continue as gravity, as light, as memory in the fabric of space. The cycle of time never stops. It only changes its form. Galaxies follow their own versions of time. Their rotation defines an age so vast that no single lifetime could comprehend it. Each spin of a galaxy marks hundreds of millions of years, and yet to the universe, it is only a moment. These great wheels of stars remind us that time is not the same everywhere. It stretches and folds. It bends with gravity and motion. Near massive objects, time slows. In emptiness, it flows more freely. The rhythm of time depends on where you stand in the dance. Even within our lives, we feel the circles of time, the beating of a heart, the rising and falling of breath, the pulse of thought and dream. All follow cycles. We sleep and wake, we grow and rest, we begin and end, only to begin again. Time is not a river flowing one way. It is an ocean of waves rising and falling in endless repetition. Every ending is a return to motion, every silence a pause between notes. In the deep structure of the universe, time moves not in straight lines, but in spirals. The galaxies spin, the stars orbit, the planets turn, and through their motion, time wraps around itself. The past gives birth to the present shapes the future, and the future flows back into the cycle again. The universe does not count time, it creates it, one motion at a time. When we measure the seconds and hours of our days, we are measuring motion. The turning of the planet, the vibration of atoms, the dance of light through the sky. Even the most precise clock is a machine built to imitate the rhythm of the cosmos. It does not make time, it listens to it. Every tick is a small echo of the great rotations that keep the universe alive. If you think of eternity not as an endless stretch, but as an unbroken circle, the idea becomes peaceful. Eternity is not far away. It is here, turning with us, repeating through the cycles of existence. Every heartbeat is a reminder that time is both infinite and immediate. Every moment we live is both a continuation and a renewal of all that has ever been. When stars fade, their light travels on. When galaxies drift apart, their motion remains in the expansion of space. Nothing in the universe truly stops. The circle of time turns through creation and rest, through light and shadow, through silence and sound. And we are part of it. Our thoughts, our actions, our very being are threads in the pattern of motion that defines time itself. So when you look at the night sky, remember that what you see is not the past or the future, but both together. The light from distant stars began its journey long ago, but you see it now, in this moment, where all times meet. The stars are turning still, the galaxies are spinning, and the circles of time continue, vast and unbroken. The universe is not moving forward, it is moving around, in harmony, in balance, forever returning to itself. And in that endless circle, there is peace. The same motion that turns the stars also turns your world. The same rhythm that keeps the cosmos alive keeps your heart beating in time. You are not separate from the circle of time. You are part of it, spinning softly, endlessly, perfectly, within the motion of eternity. Gravity is the quiet architect of harmony. It does not shine like light or roar like thunder, yet without it, nothing would move in order, nothing would remain connected. It is the most patient force in the universe, pulling gently on everything, from the smallest grain of dust to the largest galaxy cluster. It is gravity that keeps motion from scattering into chaos, gravity that turns drifting clouds into stars, gravity that draws the spinning of worlds into balance. When you drop a stone, when you feel the weight of your body on the ground, you are feeling the same force that binds the stars together, the same pull that holds you to Earth, holds the planets in orbit, holds the moons in motion, holds the galaxies in their spirals. Every act of falling, every orbit, every spin is gravity performing its endless dance. It is not a force of destruction, but of connection, linking everything through invisible threads that stretch across eternity. In the beginning, gravity was the first conductor of motion. It gathered matter from the smooth glow of the early universe, shaping the clouds that would become galaxies. It pulled and sculpted until order emerged, until rotation began. Those first spins were gravity's song, a harmony created from the meeting of motion and balance. Even now, every circle and spiral we see in the sky is the continuation of that first song. Gravity does not rush. It builds structure slowly, through patience alone. It allows things to fall together, to settle into patterns, to find their balance. Without gravity, there would be no orbits, no stars, no stability. Light would drift aimlessly through endless emptiness, and matter would never gather into form. Gravity gives shape to existence, creating harmony from stillness. Even chaos obeys gravity. When galaxies collide, when stars explode, gravity catches the fragments and reshapes them. It turns destruction into creation, transforming debris into new worlds. Nothing is ever truly lost. It simply finds a new orbit, a new pattern. This is gravity's deepest wisdom. It turns loss into balance, motion into music, emptiness into design. The same harmony exists within our solar system. The planets, though separated by vast distances, are bound together by the sun's gravity. Each one moves at just the right speed to stay in its orbit. If a planet moved faster, it would fly away. If slower, it would fall inward. But they move perfectly, keeping the solar system in a rhythm that has lasted for billions of years. It is the music of gravity, the balance between pull and motion, the serenity of perfect timing. Even the moons around those planets follow this rule. The moon's orbit around Earth is balanced by gravity and motion, each depending on the other. The tides that rise and fall in our oceans are gravity's voice, whispering across the water, keeping the Earth's rotation in sync with the pull of the heavens. What we feel as weight is not a burden but connection, a reminder that we are part of the same web of harmony that keeps the stars in their places. Far beyond, in the spaces between galaxies, gravity still works. It holds invisible matter together, forming filaments that stretch across the cosmos like the strands of a vast and glowing web. Each intersection of that web is a cluster of galaxies, drawn together by the same force that holds the moon to Earth. The universe is one vast structure of gravity's making, a living sculpture shaped by motion and balance. Even time bends under gravity's guidance. Near massive bodies, time slows, space curves, and light changes its path. Yet even in these distortions, there is no chaos, only deeper harmony. The universe bends but never breaks. Its structure flexes and flows, adjusting to preserve the balance between energy, motion, and form. Gravity ensures that nothing drifts too far, that all things remain connected in the great circle of being. Here on Earth, we live in the calm center of that harmony. The same force that holds the stars together holds us in place. We stand, we move, we rest, all because of gravity's quiet presence. It is not a prison, but a partnership, a bond between us and the cosmos. We are grounded not by chance but by balance, held in gentle conversation with the universe that created us. If you ever wish to feel close to the stars, you need only stand still and feel the pull beneath your feet. That weight is gravity's hand, the same hand that shapes galaxies. You are held by the same harmony that guides the heavens, spun by the same motion that turns the galaxies, carried by the same force that binds the universe together. Gravity is not just the law of motion, it is the music of balance, the quiet hum that keeps all things turning, forever and in peace. The universe expands and contracts like a living being that breathes in silence. Its vastness rises and falls in slow motion, a rhythm so gentle that no single lifetime could ever sense it. Yet it has been pulsing since the beginning of time. This is the breath of the cosmos, the slow inhale of creation and the even slower exhale of eternity. Every star, every planet, every galaxy moves within that breath, carried by its invisible tide. When the universe was born, it began to expand. Space itself stretched, carrying matter outward in every direction. That expansion has never stopped. Galaxies drift apart, clusters grow more distant, and the fabric of space continues to widen. Yet this motion is not chaos. It follows a pattern, a calm and ordered rhythm that defines the structure of all existence. The cosmos breathes outward, and through that breath, creation continues. This expansion is not something that happens within space. It is space itself expanding. The distances between galaxies grow, but the galaxies themselves remain bound, held together by gravity. Inside each one, stars spin, planets orbit, and light flows as it always has. The great breath of the cosmos does not tear things apart. It gives them room to exist, to move, to evolve. The galaxies move with this breath like leaves floating on a vast, unseen ocean. Each one drifts outward as space stretches beneath it. Yet even as they separate, they remain connected through the web of gravity, the faint threads that run through the universe. The expansion is not loneliness. It is the balance between closeness and freedom, between connection and motion. Some scientists believe that this expansion will continue forever, that the universe will keep breathing outward until the stars grow cold and the light fades into silence. Others wonder if one day the motion might slow, stop, and begin to reverse. If the cosmos might one day breathe inward, drawing everything back together in a grand return. Whether it ends or continues, the rhythm remains the same, the patient motion of space itself. In a way, we feel this cosmic breath even here on Earth. The cycles of life mirror it, the tide that rises and falls, the wind that moves through the trees, the lungs that draw in air and release it again. Every living thing echoes the rhythm of the universe. The breath of the cosmos is not distant. It moves through us with every heartbeat, every inhale, every moment of stillness. Expansion and contraction, creation and rest. These are the two halves of existence. One gives rise to the other, endlessly. The stars that form from collapsing clouds one day scatter their matter back into space. The galaxies that drift apart may one day meet again, merging to form new worlds. Every act of creation begins with motion inward, and every act of renewal begins with motion outward. The universe lives through these cycles, balancing perfectly between gravity's pull and expansion's reach. Even light participates in this breath. As space expands, the light traveling through it stretches, its waves growing longer, its color shifting toward the red. This cosmic redshift is the universe exhaling. It is light itself being carried on the breath of creation, stretched across space as a record of the universe's movement. Every photon that reaches us carries the story of that great breath. If we could listen to the cosmos, truly listen, we would hear its breath as a deep, slow hum. The vibration of space expanding and cooling, a sound too low for any ear to hear but always present. The background radiation that fills the sky is the echo of that first breath, the soft whisper of the moment when the universe began to move. It still surrounds us, a memory of the first exhale. There is comfort in knowing that the universe breathes. It reminds us that stillness and motion are not opposites but partners. The expansion of space is not the chaos of disorder but the rhythm of existence. The same breath that carries galaxies outward carries us too, through time, through change, through the cycles of life and rest. When you look up at the stars, remember that you are part of this cosmic breath. The air you draw in has passed through mountains, oceans, and the lungs of countless lives. The atoms within you once drifted through the first expanding light of the universe. You are made of the same matter, moved by the same rhythm, kept alive by the same motion. The cosmos breathes, and so do you. Its expansion is your heartbeat, its rhythm your pulse, its balance your peace. The universe exhales through the stars and inhales through the silence, and in that endless breath, all things find harmony. Life, too, is a form of motion. It does not glow like the stars or spiral like galaxies, yet within every heartbeat and breath, the same laws of movement that shape the universe are at work. Every living thing, from the smallest cell to the largest creature, is part of the endless turning, the quiet flow that began when the first atoms started to move. Life is motion made aware of itself, a delicate echo of the universe's eternal rhythm. On Earth, life depends entirely on movement. The planet's rotation gives light and shadow, warmth and coolness, guiding the cycles of growth. The tilt of the Earth creates the seasons, allowing forests to breathe, oceans to circulate, and creatures to adapt. Even the air we inhale is the result of motion. Molecules swirling in patterns shaped by wind, temperature, and gravity. We are surrounded by invisible motion at every moment, and within that motion, life thrives. Inside the smallest living cell, everything is in motion. Proteins twist and fold, particles drift, energy flows from one molecule to another. The structures that make up life are not solid. They are dynamic, changing with every instant. The pulse of existence beats quietly inside every organism, a symphony of motion too small to see but vital to everything that breathes and grows. Even the act of thought is movement. Electrical signals travel through the brain in delicate rhythms, creating patterns that become awareness, memory, and imagination. Consciousness itself may be the universe thinking through motion, the energy of the cosmos folded inward into the human mind. Every idea, every dream, every moment of reflection is another expression of the same cosmic turning. The flow of blood, the rhythm of breath, the rise and fall of sleep, all of them mirror the patterns found in nature. The tides, the winds, the orbits, the spinning of the planet, all reflect the same motion within us. Life and the universe are not separate. They are two aspects of the same ongoing creation. The atoms in our bodies once belonged to stars, and the energy that keeps us alive has traveled across space for billions of years. When we move, when we speak, when we simply exist, we continue the work of motion that began long before the Earth was formed. We are the living continuation of that movement, the cosmos exploring itself through form and awareness. The quiet motion of life is not a small thing. It is the most intimate expression of the universe's vast energy. Even rest is part of that rhythm. When we sleep, the body slows, the breath deepens, the heart softens its pace. Yet even in stillness, motion continues. Cells repair, thoughts drift, dreams unfold. Sleep is not the absence of motion, but a gentler form of it, a reminder that balance exists between energy and calm, between action and peace. In nature, this balance can be seen everywhere. Rivers flow, but they also rest in deep pools. Winds move across the earth, but they fade into stillness at dawn. Trees sway and settle, tides rise and fall. Every motion carries its own pause, every energy its own silence. Life follows the same pattern: movement and stillness, action and reflection, birth and rest. The harmony of life lies in accepting this rhythm. To move with the universe is to live in peace. When we fight against motion, when we try to hold still in a world that turns, we create tension. But When we breathe with the rhythm of the earth, when we flow with time instead of resisting it, we find calm. The same energy that powers the stars flows through us, steady, eternal, and kind. The quiet motion of life is sacred because it connects us to everything that exists. The heartbeat within your chest is a tiny reflection of the rotation of worlds. The breath you take echoes the expansion of the cosmos. Every step you take is a continuation of a journey that began before time was measured. You are not separate from the stars or from the turning of the galaxies. You are part of the same endless motion that holds them all. To understand this is to find serenity. You are not drifting alone through space. You are moving with everything, part of the grand design. Life is the universe expressing its motion through awareness, and death is not an end, but a change in rhythm. Nothing truly stops. Every part of you, every atom, every spark of energy will continue to move, to join new forms, to flow with the great current of creation. The quiet motion of life is the whisper of the universe reminding you that you belong. You are one of its movements, one of its thoughts, one of its dreams. And as long as the cosmos breathes, so will you, in one form or another, forever turning, forever part of the rhythm that binds all things. Nothing in the universe lasts forever, yet nothing is ever truly lost. This is the circle of creation and rest, the rhythm by which the cosmos renews itself. Stars are born, they shine, they fade, and from their ashes, new stars rise. Worlds form, life blooms, time passes, and all things eventually return to the quiet from which they came. The universe is not a story with an ending, but a cycle without beginning or conclusion. It moves through endless stages of transformation, creation flowing naturally into rest. When a star forms, it begins as a cloud of gas and dust drawn together by gravity. Slowly, it spins, grows warm, and begins to shine. That light can last for millions of years, warming planets and guiding life. Yet eventually, every star exhausts its fuel. It begins to cool, to collapse, to change. The moment of death for a star is also the beginning of something new. The elements it created during its lifetime, carbon, oxygen, iron, are scattered through space, where they become the building blocks of new worlds. Every atom in your body once belonged to such a star. The iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, the carbon in your breath, all were forged in the hearts of ancient suns. You are the continuation of their motion, the living echo of their light. When you breathe, you are breathing the memory of stars. And one day, your atoms will return to the same cycle, ready to become something new again. Planets follow this rhythm too. Some worlds form from the dust of old stars, orbiting newborn suns. Over time, they change. Their mountains rise, their oceans shift, their skies transform. Eventually, they may be consumed by their stars or drift into darkness, but the matter that once formed them will not vanish. It will scatter, drift, and gather again, another step in the eternal dance between creation and rest. Even galaxies live and die in this way. They grow as stars form within them. They collide and merge. They fade into dim shapes filled with ancient light. Yet every merger creates new stars. Every collision reshapes the fabric of space. The destruction of one form becomes the birth of another. The universe wastes nothing. It only rearranges itself endlessly. This rhythm is not violent but graceful. It is the pulse of balance, the gentle correction that ensures energy and matter flow without end. Death in the cosmos is simply transformation. What seems like an ending is a moment of release, a pause before new creation begins. The universe rests only to gather strength for the next cycle of becoming. Even life on Earth mirrors this truth. A forest grows, flourishes, and eventually returns to the soil, nourishing new growth. Rivers change their paths, mountains wear down, oceans rise and fall. Life itself moves through birth, growth, decay, and renewal. Every end carries the seed of a beginning. The circle continues, not as repetition, but as evolution. Each cycle bringing new forms, new patterns, new beauty. There is peace in knowing that rest is not emptiness. The silence that follows creation is part of creation itself. The dark spaces between stars are not voids. They are fields waiting for new light. The stillness of night is not absence. It is preparation for dawn. Even in the quiet of death, there is motion, soft and unseen, reshaping what was into what will be. The same rhythm flows through us. We create, we rest, we begin again. Every breath is a small version of the cosmic cycle. An inhale of energy, an exhale of release. When we sleep, our bodies repair and renew themselves. When we awaken, we begin the next phase of creation. Life and rest are not opposites. They are partners in the same eternal dance. If you ever feel small in the face of the stars, remember that you share their destiny. The atoms within you will one day return to the cosmos, to shine again in some new form. You are not separate from the circle of creation and rest. You are a moment within it, as essential as any star. In the end, nothing truly ends. The universe continues to move, to breathe, to transform. Its quiet cycles are the heartbeat of existence itself. Birth and death, expansion and collapse, light and darkness, all turning together in endless harmony. And in that circle, you are eternal too. A fragment of motion, a spark of creation, a whisper of the cosmos at rest. There is a kind of peace that exists only in movement, a stillness that is not the absence of motion, but its perfect balance. The universe, vast and ceaselessly turning, holds this stillness at its core. Every orbit, every spin, every wave of energy follows its rhythm so precisely that motion itself becomes calm. It is this harmony, this stillness within motion, that defines the peace of existence. If you look at the stars, they seem unmoving, yet they drift through space at incredible speed. Their light crosses endless distances, but to the human eye, they remain fixed. The stillness you see in the night sky is not real immobility. It is the quiet grace of perfect motion. The universe does not rest, but it moves so smoothly that it feels like rest. On Earth, we live within that same quiet rhythm. The planet spins, the moon circles, the tides rise and fall, yet we rarely feel the motion beneath us. Life continues in its flow, and within that flow lies a hidden serenity. It is the same peace that governs galaxies and atoms alike, the calm that comes when everything moves exactly as it should. Stillness within motion is the universe's greatest secret. It is how energy and gravity, expansion and contraction, creation and rest all coexist without chaos. The stars burn and die, the galaxies drift and collide, and yet the pattern never breaks. The balance is so precise that even destruction serves harmony. Every change becomes part of the rhythm. Every silence becomes part of the song. Even within your own body, this truth holds. Your blood flows, your heart beats, your cells divide, and yet you can sit in stillness, feeling peace. Inside, countless processes move with purpose, all in perfect timing. The calm you feel is not from stopping the motion, but from aligning with it. You are a harmony made flesh, a reflection of the stillness that lives within the turning of the cosmos. When you breathe, you take part in that universal rhythm. The inhale is creation, the exhale is release. Between them lies the moment of stillness, a pause that connects the two. That pause exists everywhere, in the quiet between waves, in the dark between stars, in the space between heartbeats. Stillness is never empty. It is full of balance, full of meaning. The universe does not strive to be still, yet it achieves stillness through perfect motion. The planets do not resist their paths, they follow them with grace. The stars do not rush their burning, they shine in their own time. The galaxies do not hold themselves together by force, but by harmony. To move with that same grace is to live in peace with the cosmos. We often think of rest as stopping, of peace as silence, but in truth, peace is movement without resistance. It is the understanding that every change, every turn, every breath is part of something greater. Stillness within motion is not found by escaping the world, but by becoming aware of its rhythm, by feeling the quiet structure beneath the flow of everything. When you close your eyes and listen to the sound of your own breathing, you can feel it, the turning of the earth beneath you, the distant pull of the moon, the faint hum of stars that have shone since before time began. You are not outside this motion. You are within it, moving with it, held by it. The universe is not rushing toward an end. It is unfolding in perfect calm. Every motion it makes is part of the same eternal pattern. To recognize this is to find peace. Not a fragile silence, but a deep awareness that everything is already in balance. The stars turn, the worlds spin, life flows. And in that infinite motion, there is rest. So let yourself drift with the rhythm. Let your thoughts slow, your breath deepen, your senses soften. You are moving with the galaxies now, part of the quiet turning of creation. The same stillness that holds the stars holds you. And as you breathe, as you rest, remember, you are not apart from the motion of the universe. You are its stillness, its harmony, its peace made real.